Hey, this is Emily at Oz Inflatable Kayaks, and in this video, I'm going to help you choose an awesome two-person inflatable kayak. We've quite a few tandem kayaks in the range, and so we developed this filter here. The filter, fortunately, is all about you. So even if you know nothing about kayaks or kayaking, you've never paddled in your life, you can still narrow the range down to something that's going to suit you. If you're on mobile, the filter button is here. It's all the same filters that appear on desktop. When you've made your selections, you can just click on show results, and to get out of the filter, you just use the cross up the top here. Max kayak weight, I'd be careful with this one. The temptation is to go, oh, I want something really, really light, especially because Emily's always banging on about how important it is to have a lightweight kayak. But you're going to end up with the Aquamarine 1/2, very, very light, but paddles like a bathtub. Essentially, it's great for people that are backpacking and don't really care about how they're getting down the river that they've just backpacked up. So it's all about fit for purpose. And so I would come back to this one. It's more like also, if you're paddling solo in the tandem kayak, that's where you want to keep your weight down. But there's probably an easier way to assess that. What I would do first is look at these two. Heaviest paddler, so this is the individual heaviest paddler, and the tallest paddler. Now, this is quite broad because these are tandems. They're big, they're rigid, they're solid. So if both of you are below 100 kilograms, you don't need to worry. And if both of you are below 187 centimeters, you don't need to worry. And you also probably need to take this with a bit of a grain of salt. So especially with the tallest paddler, like if one of you was very tall, but the other person was kind of short, then the short person can effectively give some of their leg room to the tall person. So it's really if you're both tall that this starts to apply. So first of all, filter those out and make sure that you're going to get the rigidity and the space that you need. Next thing you would look at is max trip length. This for me might sound like an odd thing to do, but this for me is the most important filter of all, right? So max trip length basically says how good is this kayak, right? Because you can imagine a kayak that's got to go all day in the water cannot be a bathtub. It's got to track straight, so it's got to have really good form in the bow and stern, right? It's got to go quite fast. It's got to not be turned in wind, so you can't be paddling all day on one side correcting because the wind is turning you around. And it's got to have a really good seat, okay? Because after 3 hours, and this is what we do, right? We get these kayaks and we don't take them out for 10 minutes on a calm day. We take them out over and over in all kinds of conditions for long paddling periods to make sure that they are up to the task. And so that's where this kind of matters. And we kind of ranked it and gone, yeah, you could get away with 1 or 2 hours, but not more than that maybe. Or you could get away with a half day for this kayak, but not more than that. And so you select what you're going to do. Multi-day is same kind of performance criteria as full day, but can you fit gear in essentially? And that looks at capacity and deck space. Open water. Be careful here with the tandems. There's strictly speaking only one kayak that meets this criteria right now. We are always adding, so it may be different by the time you're using this filter. But the convertible elite, so the way we look at open water is what happens when waves start swamping over your bow, right? And there's two ways to deal with this. One is for the kayak to keep those waves out, to keep the water out, and that's what the convertible does. You can buy the double deck conversion or the single deck and you zip it on, and then you put spray skirts on, and you are warm and you are dry in that kayak. And this is a gun in open water. The convertible elite, fastest tandem kayak on the market. It's just incredible. Very minimally wind affected too, like really, really high performance kayak. So that's one way. The other way is through the kayak being self-bailing, which is a bit like a sit on top. So it effectively has holes in it, like deliberate holes in the hull. So water that comes over drains out, and the kayak's designed, obviously that means water comes up through those holes too, but the kayak's designed to kind of sit on top, hence the word sit on top kayak. The Kokopelli Platte is actually a self-bailing kayak, but the manufacturer says it is not suitable for open ocean, so we couldn't put it in our filter, alas. So some like these, like the Odyssey Tandem, the Quest Tandem, these ones are, it's going to be up to your judgment as to whether you can use them in open water. If you get water in those kayaks, it's staying in unless you bilge pump it out. But for a lot of people who are along like bays and stuff and they're assessing their conditions, they might make a judgment that they're suitable. So that's open water. Most people we know aren't doing open water, but it's good for those that are doing, expeditions and fun stuff. And then taking a dog and taking small kids. This is the other one that's really important in my opinion. So what we're essentially looking for is stability. right? You can't take, in my opinion, Kids and Dogs in the Air Glide 410, the Air Glide 473. Those kayaks look very similar to the Odyssey, and structurally they have the drop stitch sides and the drop stitch floor, but they're narrower. And you just, as soon as the kid looks over the side, you're kind of all tipping over. So Kids and Dogs and that, they're unpredictable elements, and I didn't feel these were quite stable enough for that. The other thing with dogs is it durable enough for doggy claws? And this is a very similar filter for fishing as well. If you want to know more about the fishing, we haven't quite got that filter up and running yet, but we're working on it. If you want to know more about fishing, just get in touch and we can guide you on that one. Now, so let's say you've done all of this, like I'm going to go full day for me personally, and I'm going to say taking small kids because I've always taken the kids. So I'm left with these three. This is when you can go back and you can apply a weight filter. You could say, look, I've got a vehicle and I can't get more than, 21 kilograms in, and it's going to drop off, say, the convertible elite. But if you can leave the weight there, then what you can do is use this comparison table. So I'll just take these out. I was using this before. So if you hit the compare button, it'll add a bunch of kayaks into this comparison table. And when you hit the compare button down here, it shows you all of the kayak details side by side. Now we're talking about kayaks, not you, about the kayaks. And this is where you can start to compare things like lengths, widths, and here is weight. So you might go, boy, I really want to be able to paddle this solo, and 23.5 is going to be a little heavy for me to be getting that kayak to and from the water by myself as a solo. I'm going to go for the Quest Tandem, for example, right? That's when you start looking at setup time, capacity, all that sort of stuff. Now, this is really, really useful, and this is where you're down into the details. Can you put a spray skirt on? Is it self-bailing? Are there rod holders on it? Can you strap on a propeller? Like, really good details. If you've narrowed it down though even further, let's say you like the look of the Quest, right? Then I would also suggest going into the kayak, into the product description. Obviously, I'd love it if you read everything. Watch this video for sure. The video gives you a lot of good details. You can have a look at why this kayak, but the thing that we do that's really different and really important is, who is this kayak not for? Which may sound odd, but I do not want you to buy a kayak that's not going to suit you. So jump in and have a look. Who is it not for? And if you tick one of those boxes, get out of there, back to your compare table and have a look at one of the others. You can also check out specs. The comparisons are where we compare similar kayaks, and the setup. Definitely look at the setup because you need to make sure it's something you're comfortable doing. We've got a bunch of FAQs down here as well, and of course the reviews. Now, let's say you've done all of this and you've done all your research and you're still stuck on one or two or even three of these kayaks. Get in touch. That's what we're here for, right? There's a contact form here at the top in this menu, or else you can call us. We actually do answer our phone, and if we don't, leave a voicemail. We always check our voicemail. So we would be happy to help you to get into an awesome tandem kayak. Look forward to hearing from you. This is Emily at Oz Inflatable Kayaks.